In the bustling heart of a contemporary American metropolis, two young men navigate lives filled with stark contrasts and shared struggles. Meet Neil, a charming and ambitious figure, born into wealth and privilege. He thrives in the glow of high-profile events and lavish parties, where his social standing is both his armor and his Achilles heel. Then there's Kane, an introspective soul, adopted and forever questioning his place in the world. While Neil basks in the limelight, Kane retreats into quieter, reflective spaces, seeking answers to existential questions that gnaw at his sense of belonging. Their paths, though seemingly divergent, are bound by an invisible thread of rivalry and personal exploration. As we delve into their worlds, we witness a dance of opposition, where ambition clashes with introspection and societal expectations meet inner turmoil. This is their story, an exploration of identity and existential angst, set against the backdrop of a modern adaptation of the Tale of Genji. Prepare to witness how these two contrasting lives will intertwine and collide, setting the stage for a journey of transformation and self-discovery. As we move forward, you'll see the ambitions, fears, and insecurities that shape Neil and Kane's intertwined fates. Neil's journey is driven by an unwavering ambition. In a world where high society standards reign supreme, Neil is determined to stand out, to be more than just another face in the crowd. His life is a relentless pursuit of success and recognition, immersed in a constant struggle to outshine everyone around him. Social events are his battlefield, and charm is his weapon. Neil meticulously invests in his image, leaving no stone unturned to maintain his elite social standing. Yet, this drive isn't just about vanity. It's about fulfilling a deeper, almost existential need to prove his worth in a society that values appearance over substance. As Neil navigates through the glamorous yet cutthroat world of high-profile events, he's constantly measuring his progress, always setting the bar higher. Every step he takes is calculated, each move carefully planned to ensure he stays ahead. And while he projects an image of flawless confidence, beneath the surface, there's a ceaseless urgency to protect his status, an unspoken fear of becoming irrelevant. This is Neil's call to adventure, a starting point for a journey that will test his very essence. As we continue, his ambition will pave the way for a rivalry that could change everything. Scrutinizing his world, we find ourselves wandering in the labyrinth of Kane's inner turmoil. Born from unknown origins, adopted into a world full of familiarity that is simultaneously alien, he carries an aura of desirability as vast as the chasm of his longing. His gaze, as if, chases an elusive shadow. What is it? Is it the piece he can't quite fit in the jigsaw puzzle of his existence? Or is it the place he feels he doesn't quite belong to? Kane's heart echoes troublesome riddles that keep him awake, questions that lead him down the path of existential quandary. Who is he truly? The whispers of his past, faint yet persistent, add to his brewing stew of angst. Amid the revelry of the ordinary world, while others observe the superficial, he dives deep, wrestling with his complex layers. Caught in a crossfire between self-discovery and the incessant need to assimilate, Kane's struggle is a profound contemplation that most shy away from. However, like an unwilling hero, he refuses to shy away from his internal conflict. The quest for his identity becomes an encompassing maelstrom, reflecting the perpetual struggle of the human spirit to find a self amidst all chaos. This sets the stage for an intense rivalry with Neil, pushing them to face their deepest fears and insecurities. As tensions escalate, Neil and Kane are drawn into an unspoken rivalry. Neil, with his charm and determination, feels the shadows of doubt creep in around Kane's effortless allure. Each moment they cross paths, Neil can't help but feel a threat to his carefully curated world. Meanwhile, Kane, despite his captivating presence, battles a growing sense of inadequacy. His introspection turns into a storm of self-doubt, questioning the worthiness of his existence and struggling to find his place. Their worlds, both rich in contradiction and conflict, begin to entwine, laying the groundwork for an intense and inevitable clash. This confrontation isn't just against each other, but within themselves. As we move forward, we'll see how these feelings of rivalry and insecurity manifest, pushing both Neil and Kane toward paths they never anticipated. As Neil and Kane's paths cross more frequently, an invisible thread of tension tightens between them. Each encounter grows more charged, with unspoken words and seething emotions bubbling beneath the surface. Neil, ever the picture of confidence, finds his carefully curated world increasingly unsettled by Kane's enigmatic presence. Kane, wrestling with his own sense of belonging, can't help but feel a magnetic pull towards Neil's world, a realm he feels both drawn to and alienated from. Their interactions, once mere passing glances, now brim with unvoiced rivalries and bitter undertones. This isn't just a clash of personalities, it's a profound battle for identity and validation. Neil's need to outshine becomes darker, more desperate, while Kane's quiet introspection grows into a storm of self-doubt and existential dread. The rivalry between them isn't merely a personal vendetta, it's the manifestation of their innermost fears and desires. As they edge closer to a tipping point, the stakes mount, casting long shadows over their entwined destinies. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the trials and tribulations that define their journey. The path ahead is fraught with challenges that will test their very cores, revealing truths they can't yet fathom. Both Neil and Kane are now facing the toughest tests of their journeys. For Neil, external challenges come in the form of social expectations and the unyielding pressure to maintain his image. With every glance and whisper at high-profile events, the weight of his ambitions bears down on him. Meanwhile, Kane battles personal demons. His unknown origins and constant self-doubt create an internal storm, leaving him questioning his place in the world. These challenges unmask their true selves. Neil's charm sometimes falters under the strain, revealing the vulnerability beneath his ambition. Kane's quiet demeanor hides a fierce struggle for identity, pushing him further into introspection. How they face these trials will ultimately define their characters. Neil becomes more determined, his resolve hardening as he strives to outdo Kane. Kane, on the other hand, begins to confront his fears, seeking deeper understanding and meaning. Their responses to these tests set the stage for the upcoming climax. Each challenge, whether personal or external, shapes their paths and brings them closer to a critical turning point. Stay with us as we delve deeper into their journey, where the stakes will rise even higher. As the Grand Gala looms on the horizon, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation and unspoken rivalry. Neil, driven by an insatiable need for validation, feels the pressure mounting with each passing day. For him, the gala is not just a social event, it's the ultimate trial of his worth and status. Meanwhile, Kane, plagued by the ghosts of his unknown past, battles a different storm within himself. His introspective nature only amplifies his existential questions, making the anticipation almost unbearable. The gala represents a crossroads of identity and acceptance, a silent battlefield where his deepest fears might be laid bare. In these final moments before the confrontation, their internal conflicts reach a boiling point. Neil's polished exterior begins to reveal cracks of vulnerability, while Kane's calm facade masks an undercurrent of turmoil. They are two sides of the same coin, each pushing the other closer to the edge. As their separate paths converge towards the Grand Gala, the tension is palpable. Both men are on the brink, grappling with their identities and the looming promise of transformation. The stage is set, and neither knows just how profoundly their lives will change in the coming hours. Stay tuned as the night unfolds, their true selves will be tested like never before. At the heart of the Grand Gala, amid the glittering lights and celebratory clinks of champagne glasses, the tension between Neil and Kane sizzled with palpable intensity. Neil, always the paragon of charm and ambition, found himself cornered by the presence of Kane, whose quiet allure and mysterious background gnawed at Neil's carefully curated confidence. As they stood face to face, amidst the opulence, their insecurities began to spill forth. Neil's facade of superiority crumbled as the weight of his desire for validation crashed down. Kane, meanwhile, confronted the shadows of his past, the whispers of doubt about his identity echoing louder than ever. It was a moment of raw vulnerability, where both men were stripped of pretense and bravado. Each word, each glance, laid bare their deepest fears and unspoken desires. This was not merely a confrontation, it was a reckoning. In this climactic ordeal, the Grand Gala became more than just a setting. It transformed into an arena where the battle for their true selves played out. As we move forward, you'll see how this confrontation becomes a crucible for change, pushing Neil and Kane toward a profound realization and understanding. In the echoes of the Grand Gala, as the last notes of confrontation fade, Neil and Kane stand amidst the remnants of their rivalry, confronting the raw essence of their insecurities. Neil, always the charming figure, realizes his relentless pursuit of success was driven by deep-seated fears of inadequacy. Kane, the introspective soul, sees how his struggles with identity and belonging fueled his sense of unworthiness. Despite years of veiled animosity, a reluctant understanding begins to form between them. They recognize their battles with each other were mere reflections of the conflicts within themselves. This moment of realization is profound, exposing the vulnerabilities that lay hidden beneath their facades. As they acknowledge their shared humanity, a new pathway opens, a journey not defined by rivalry, but by a deeper comprehension of their own fears and desires. This newfound clarity isn't just about each other, it's about understanding themselves. The journey of Neil and Kane shifts here, from a tale of opposition to one of mutual insight. Next, you'll witness how this understanding reshapes their paths toward resolution and growth. As Neil and Kane walk away from the confrontation, something profound shifts within them. They've stood at the edge of their insecurities, looked into the abyss of their rivalry, and have emerged transformed. Neil, no longer merely defined by his ambition and charm, begins to understand the deeper layers of his identity. Kane, who carried the weight of his unknown origins, starts to see beyond his internal conflicts. They both find a new clarity in their understanding of themselves and each other. In this newfound awareness, there's a sense of growth and a possibility for genuine connection. The rivalry that once divided them becomes a bridge to mutual respect and empathy. Through their journey, they discover that the struggles they faced were never about outshining the other, but about confronting the fears within themselves. This resolution isn't simply an ending, it's a beginning rooted in self-acceptance and personal growth. As Neil and Kane move forward, they carry with them the elixir of insight, the knowledge that every challenge faced has the power to transform. Their story, much like the Tale of Genji, reminds us that in our deepest struggles, we often find our truest selves and sometimes even each other.